Hey, what's up, everybody? If you don't know me, my name is Jamahl Kersey. I am a criminal defense and immigration attorney at Kersey Law. And I wanted to share with you a couple of recent victories that we had here, because if you know any immigration attorneys who represent individuals versus the government, then you've probably heard them complain about how difficult things have been under this administration, just all of the unfair procedures and policies that have been implemented since 2016, and it has produced some, quite frankly, tragic results. And so anytime there are reports of good news, it's always a wonderful thing for us as a firm. It's especially a wonderful thing for our clients and our profession on a whole. And I love hearing victory stories from my colleagues, and so I figured I would share a couple today. So the first one is basically from last Friday. We had a client who received a letter from ICE basically saying that you need to report to ICE on last Friday, and you're basically reporting to be deported. So he had to be prepared to essentially leave the country. We don't really need to get into the details as to why, but that was the situation. And so we prepared a number of documents in order to prevent that. So under the law, there is something called a request for stay of removal. And under certain circumstances, you can make a request that ICE not deport an individual. And there's a very high standard that's implemented, and so these are pretty difficult to be successful on, and especially now in this day and age, again under this administration. But I am happy to say that we were able to avoid a tragic situation, and our client was not deported. He is still here, and he has a visa pending, and we're hopeful that that visa is granted so that he can become lawful and be able to stay here in the United States with his family. And so we're hoping for the best for that. But the mini victory, or the micro victory, is that he gets to stay here and he was not deported. So we are always happy when we are able to avoid a person being deported, especially our clients that are just wonderful people who may have found themselves in a difficult situation. The second situation has to do with a lovely couple that we represent, who was actually accused of alien smuggling. So these are two people who have green cards. They've had green cards for a very long time and live here in the United States, and they were accused of alien smuggling. And as you can imagine, that is a pretty serious offense. It is an offense for which a person can be prosecuted criminally and lose their green card and be deported. And so you can imagine they were very worried, scared, sad, frustrated, all these negative emotions that people feel when they're facing such a situation. And so, as is typical, we had them come in the office, we discussed the situation, and we were able to tell them, hey, I think that we can put together a solid defense strategy to put you in a position where you're going to be able to keep your green cards and stay in the United States. And so fortunately, that is exactly what happened. And so I want to give a special shout out to our graduate law clerk, Michelle Camacho, who did brilliant work in interviewing our clients in order to prepare solid declarations and motions such that we were in a position that the government actually didn't oppose our motions. So they had filed documents to put our clients in deportation proceedings on suspicion of alien smuggling. And after filing our motions, we basically filed a motion to terminate these proceedings, saying that there was not sufficient evidence because the government has the burden of proving that a person is deportable. If they've been admitted to the United States as residents, then the government has the burden of proving that they're deportable by clear and convincing evidence. And so our argument was that government would not be able to prove by clear and convincing evidence that our clients were engaged in alien smuggling. And so fortunately, the government agreed with our position. They did not oppose our motions, and those motions were granted. And so we have two individuals who They had no criminal history, they had no immigration violations in the past. But you can just imagine how scary it can be to have the government accuse you of alien smuggling, of such a serious charge. And so ultimately, for us to be successful and victorious, and for them to be able to retain their green cards, maintain their residency in the United States, we're very happy with those results. And so not only did I want to shout out Michelle, but also Patty and Hassel, who hold it down and put us in a position where we can continue to focus on what we need to in order to continue to write the best briefs that we can, and for me to be able to present the best arguments that I can in court, and in all of which is in the interest of doing the best we can for our clients. So every victory here is a team effort, and so I want to invite, as a means of inspiration, each one of my colleagues, in the immigration and the criminal defense realms, in those areas of law, to share your victories, because it not only inspires us all, but it's also a display of the importance of all of us as attorneys fighting as hard as we can for our clients day in, day out, knowing that oftentimes we have an uphill battle in our cases. That's just the nature of the game. But we are the defenders of the Constitution. We are the defenders of due process, and all we can do is continue to fight the good fight. So I just want to, again, shout out to all my immigration advocates, shout out to all my criminal defense colleagues. Keep fighting the good fight. That's all for now. Until next time, peace.